My name is Jane Dawson and I work for the Electrical Contractors Association, which represents businesses, electrotechnical businesses in the UK. We're working on the drive to net zero, similar to the Zero conference here, working on renewable energy. Out of this conference there's been a lot of talk about the importance of language, the importance of communication, and how you translate the language, the technical and quite difficult language of renewable energy, how you translate that to consumers, how you translate it to businesses and policymakers. And getting that right and making it simple enough for people to understand is absolutely critical to broadening the awareness about renewable energy across the whole of the country. Communications needs to be integral to any work that you're doing. So integrating your communication strategy right from the start, rather than thinking about marketing as an add-on or advertising as an add-on. Communication is all about thinking about your story, thinking about your key strategic audiences and how you get your message across, right from board level, from team level, long before you even get to the media. Really hone those messages, make sure the language is clear, simple and understandable to everyone. That's not dumbing it down, that's making it clear and simple so that people trust what you're doing and make sure that there's a greater take-up of it. Some of the investigative journalism has been very good around getting the importance of of getting rid of fossil fuels, because it's been able to show the damage that fossil fuel extraction is doing. There's been a great deal of activism, which means that it's controversial, so that the media pick that up. What the Western and European media have been less good at doing, and I would say this is something it's going to be very good in Uganda, is that they're not very good at looking at the practical transition to renewable energy. I think there's an awareness that something needs to be done, that we all need to adopt net zero technologies, we all need to make sure that we have renewable energy in our homes, but there's been very little done about how you do that and what it costs to do that and what the implications are. So our media have helped to raise awareness, but they haven't helped with the practical transition. I see that very differently in Uganda. I think you've got similar issues, but I think there's a lot of practical work going on making that transition. And I would suggest that that's to do with the West has got very staid, silo-driven institutions, and it's got a very creaky infrastructure, where here in Uganda you can make a difference quite quickly in a small local community, and there's some fantastic stories in those local communities how energy can be brought to a local community and transform people's lives. We don't have those stories in the West. We don't have the stories of what it looks like practically. Here in Uganda you've got those very practical, this community has been changed because you brought a mini grid in, or you brought some solar PV in. People can charge their phones, they can cook more effectively, and the media is able to, or has the potential to, tell those stories really effectively and make that transition across the country.